for a bear show?
Yeah!
Very good. You seem to be enthusiastic. I'm glad. The weather's warming up. That makes it hard on man and beast. I wet the ring down to cool it for the bears. We encourage them to go into their bathtubs and get soaking wet and cool down during this hot weather. My name is Murray Clark. I'm your host, senior bear trainer, one of the older members of the Clark family, even though it doesn't show. My brother and I started the Bear Act in 1949. I have been at it ever since. The bears we work with are North American black bears, Ursus americanus, the bear of America. This species is found all along the Atlantic coast of the United States and up in Canada in great numbers. These bears are living, this species that is, right out here in these woods. New Hampshire seems to have around 4,500. If you're alert, when you're driving along our mountain highways, you may occasionally see one. But if you're walking in the woods, you usually make too much noise, and the bear shies away and disappears. My first experience with little bear cubs was in the kitchen of the family home across the street. The month of March, the year 1935. My father had acquired 3 young cubs taken from a mother's den in Randolph, New Hampshire, north of here. And they were so small, they had to be cared for in our home. Literally, we raised them for 6 weeks in our kitchen. You really haven't experienced life until you raise bear cubs in your kitchen. They were only this big at the time, but they were up on the kitchen table, down on the tablecloth, the silverware, and the dishes. They climbed the curtains and ripped them down. They chewed the soft furniture. And in the meantime, they were into trouble. They had to be fed every night and day, every 2 hours. Bottle fed, and my brother and I surely took on a lot of that along with our parents. Years later, we decided it was better if the mother raised her own kids. Our bears hibernate every winter. That means they sleep intermittently in these wooden houses. We fatten them up in the late summer and fall, and when this ground is frozen and snow-covered, it's time for the bear family to go to sleep for the winter. Hibernation. The last meal we give them normally is handed out on Pearl Harbor Day. And we do not feed them again for 3.5 months. That's not punishment. That's not hard on them, because we have fattened them up. Wild bears out here in the woods oftentimes go to their dens in the fall, not quite ready. And theirs is a tough life through the winter. Survival rate is down. The fact of the matter is, wild bears in New Hampshire have a life expectancy that only averages 4.5 to 5.5 years. If we lost a bear at 5 years or 7 years of age, we would be greatly distressed. Ours live much longer. They have a diet of healthy food and plenty of it. My oldest now, across the street, retired behind my home at the edge of the woods, private bathtub, Social Security, Medicare, and the meager savings she set aside during her working years. I'm referring to Abenaki. She's 24.5 years. She's beautiful. She's healthy, well cared for and loved. She has 2 companions up there. In the woods, when our bears are sound asleep, we do not go to Florida. All the Clarks live within a mile of here, and some of us, the bear handlers and trainers, visit here every few days to see that our family of bears is doing all right. If we wish, we may call them by name and awaken them. They respond by coming to the doorway of the den and looking out. We then take a bed check, count noses. You know, the first thing they want to know is, what month is it? They've been asleep 2, 3, 4 weeks at a stretch. They don't have any semblance of knowledge of what the time of winter is. First thing they want to know, what month is it, and then we give them the local news. Make them aware of the political situation. We never feed them when the snow is on the ground. The only thing in the wintertime that might occur here with the bear family would be the arrival of newborns. In our long experience of producing here since 1951, we find that most cubs are born on the 22nd day of January, just like clockwork, provided there was a wedding the previous June. We had lots of weddings here, but no population explosion. I learned years ago most of the marriages had been annulled. The newborn cubs of this size, they weigh less than a pound each, average 14.5 ounces, and the litters are small. 1 or 2 cubs, common litter. Triplets, not common. Quadruplets, rare. The mother is awake when her cubs arrive, and hundreds of times thereafter through the balance of the winter, nursing and caring for them. She brings them out in the spring from the den to look at the world, and they're this size. 7 years required for the black bear to mature and get their full bone structure, at which time some large male bears in the fall of the year exceed 500 pounds. Some of the lady bears exceed 300 pounds, and at birth, 14.5 ounces. What are they living on here? I want to tell you, rather than have you guess and get it wrong. Since 1935, the base diet for all of our bears in history has been, and still is, dog chow. Dog pellets. They think it's bear food. We've never told them otherwise. We don't show them the bag it comes in. There's a picture of a dog's face on the cover of the bag, and we don't want them barking or raising longer tails. So we bring it to them in a pail. They get lots of good fruit, lots of vegetables. You probably don't realize they love lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, sweet corn. But no one eats. They wouldn't eat a pepper regardless of its color. They're very smart. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy what we do. The bears will have a good time. Thank you. Here we go.
Here comes our first performer.